All right. Okay, is the green light flashing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. So instead of having you fill these out on the skeleton notes that I passed out, okay, those are, I basically put the table of what you're going to find on those. Okay, when you're choosing a display, all of those are types of graphical displays. Okay, but choosing the correct one. Now, sometimes there's more than one that would be appropriate. Okay, but if you look at, did you guys say that's on?
Yeah.
It
Yeah, it's
is.
green. You can barely see it. You should just turn off the lights.
Okay. You go to sleep.
Sure. Yeah.
Audrey already said she's really tired. So. I'll see. See?
See.
Okay, so the first one, okay, and basically what I want to do is just kind of show you what these look like. Okay, a bar graph, a regular bar graph, okay? A regular bar graph is just going to have, down here, it's going to have some kind of a specific value. If you look at the definition of a bar graph, it shows the number of items in specific categories, okay? So let's say it was like, I don't know, games 1. And over here you have, 2, 4, 6, 8. And then you have like a red team, a blue team, yellow team. Okay, it doesn't really matter what the example is, but these are specifics. Okay, so what's different, let's say we have a display that looks like this. Okay, what's different about this from a histogram? There's one difference.
Single number.
Okay, it's a specific item on the bottom. On a histogram, what are these bottom numbers? Those things are intervals. That's the only difference between because a histogram is actually a type of bar graph. It just uses intervals for the x-axis. Okay? Does that make sense? Okay. Circle graph we covered yesterday. The big thing about circle graph, if you look at your skeleton notes, it says compares parts of the data to the whole. Next to that in parentheses, put percents. Okay? Put percents. Okay? Because the main thing you're thinking about with a circle graph is percents. It's the best way to display percents because they're easy to compare one percent to the other. Okay? Make sense? Mm-hmm. All right. Next display, line graph. Okay, line graphs. Anybody ever seen a line graph? You've seen them, I'm sure. Okay, bless you. They show changes over a period of time. Okay, so let's say, you're going to have two axes like that. Okay, up here you're going to have a number, okay, a frequency, and this is a line graph, by the way. Down here you're going to have some form of time. Okay, it could be years. Let's say this was 2000, and then 2010, and then 2020. And let's say that whatever we're comparing here, you're going to have like a dot. Okay? And they will typically be connected. Okay? So it's going to look like that. You guys have seen those kind of graphs? Okay? The key word there, underline the words period of time. Because that's the key word to display something as a line graph when it has periods of time. Got it? Okay, line plot. Can I erase this?
Sure.
Anybody ever seen a line plot?
No.
Okay, what's a line plot look like? Do you know? You thought you did. Okay, once I show you, you'll remember it. Okay, it's a number line. Okay, and it has some values. Let's say this was -1, 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay? But it shows, a line plot specifically says how many times each number occurs. Okay? So let's say that I have like 3 x's above this one, and I have 1 x, and I have like 5 x's above like that, and this one was 2. Okay? That's what a line plot is. Okay? The biggest thing of the line plot is showing how many times each number occurs. Make sense? Okay? It's basically a number line with x's on top. Okay, are we good on that?
What was the one before that? What was it called?
The one before that, a line graph. This one's a line plot, that one's a line graph,
Oh, okay.
okay? All right, a pictograph. Well, think about picto, what are you thinking? Picture, right? Okay, so a pictograph, you've probably seen them in some kind of a display. Like say it's a piece of pizza. Oh, yeah. Okay, let's say that one full piece equals 25 slices. Okay, then the next one you might only have like a third of a slice. And then the rest of it is like ghost, okay? So this would represent, I don't know, 35 slices. But basically all a pictograph is picture displays to show data. Make sense? Okay? Stem and leaf plot. Anybody ever seen a stem and leaf plot? We did stem and leaf plots briefly last year. Okay, a stem and leaf plot looks like this. It looks like a, okay, kind of, it has a number over here and then several numbers over here. Okay, does anybody know what these mean? This number over here, okay, this is like the tens place. Okay, and this would be the ones place. So like 2 stem 5 would be a what? A 25, okay? If I had a 3 here, and I had a 7 and a 7 and a 9, that would be a 3 and a 7 would equal 37, okay? So if I looked at what this represents, this would be 23, 23, 25, 27, 37, 37, 39. Question?
What's that called?
Stem and leaf. Because there's a stem, and these are the leaf.
What do you use that for?
We'll use them actually. Use it when you're displaying a lot of data, okay, central tendency type stuff, okay? Trey?
Would you add the numbers, like, after?
It depends. Right now, it's just a display.
Okay.
Yeah, it depends on what you're trying to find, okay? Okay, do you understand stem and leaf plot? Basically, under stem and leaf plot, it's always numerical data, okay? Underline numerical data, okay? All right, now, a table, okay, do you guys remember when we did that, did the probability activity? And you guys kept asking me, what is this frequency table? Okay, a frequency table, it just is it's a table format, okay? And it breaks things into specific groups, okay? Might look like this. Okay, we had red, we had blue, we had white, we had green. Okay, and then this was like 1, 2, 3. This was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This was 1. This was 2. Okay. Okay. All it says for a table is lists all data individually, or it can be by groups. Okay. Now, a lot of these can be used by more than one. Okay. So when you decide what display to use, you're going to ask yourself what type of information this is. Okay. Do you guys see on your notes where it says what type of information is this? Okay, write this down. Numbers, question mark, intervals, question mark, specific items. Okay, you're looking for what is trying to be displayed. Okay, if it's all numbers, okay, you might want to use a stem and leaf plot, right? Okay, if it was all intervals, what are you going to use? A histogram. Okay. If you are comparing specific items, what might be a good one? A bar graph, okay, something like that. Okay, look at example 1. Okay, the cost of homeowners insurance over the past 10 years. What would be good for that? Everybody, what's good for that? Line graph. Why? Because it shows changes over time. Okay, and it says changes over the past 10 years. That would be a perfect example. Okay, look at number 2. It says the amount of federally owned land in each state. But what's your key word there? What does it say? Arranged in intervals. If it's intervals, it's going to be what?
Histogram.
Histogram. Okay? What if it said this? What if it said the amount of federally land owned in each state arranged in percents? What would be the best display for that? Circle graph. Okay? Does that make sense? Okay. On your worksheet, you only have to actually do a couple of graphs. The rest of them is just identifying the best display. Okay? We pass these that way, please. I don't think you're going to need them.
Are you making autographs?
Only on like 3.
What are these two?
Okay. All right, so look, on numbers 1 through 6, all you're gonna do is write what kind of display would be best. Use the table that I gave you, okay? You can write which one would be best, okay? Numbers 7 and 8, you can choose a kind of display and then make it, okay? It's pretty obvious what 8's gonna be. Okay, number 7, I don't know, you can use your imagination on that. Because there's several different ones. There's, on some of these, there's more than one right answer, does that make sense? Okay, and on the backside, just answer the questions.
Yeah.
What? Oh, come on, give me a break. You guys will be done with this in 10 minutes.
Can't even figure out number one.
What do you mean?
Could be anything.
Could be anything? Energy usage in the home for the past year categorized by month. Okay. Categorize means something specific, right? So could it be a bar graph? Mm-hmm. Could it be a table?
So there is more than one answer.
Mm-hmm. There can be, you know.